So Martin, what do you think about TAM?
TAM,
TAM.
wonderful company. Wonderful company.
It's a large country.
What?
1.2, 1.3 billion people.
Right.
Few thousand people meters. Doesn't add up.
Well,
Even quantitative research, qualitative research is in. No, let me complete now.
Yeah.
No, let me complete this. I have waited 15 years to ask you this question.
I think TAM has been operating for 50 years.
It has profits, it has cash reserves. The whole industry is up for expansion. Let me complete. 1.2 billion people, a few thousand people meters about it. With the kind of scientific vigor which you bring into research and data, do you really have to wait for expanding? You have to wait for government policy guidelines to tell you that you need to have a greater reach across the entire country for the quality of the data that the entire Indian media industry depends on.
No, that's not
So
very, very unfair. Very unfair. The number of meters was the base reflects a cost. Okay? And you refer to profitability, and the profitability is not substantial. I mean, it's reasonable but not substantial. And the number of meters reflects the cost of the service. Right? If you want to go from 10,000 meters to 12,500 meters or 20,000 meters, whatever it happens to be, it involves a cost, and the industry will have to pay that cost. And in fact, if you look around the world at television audience measurement, and we have to do it in about 40 countries around the world, you usually find that there is one meter service that the advertisers agree to, the agencies agree to, and the broadcasters agree to. And they agree to that, would you believe, usually on an equal basis. So 1/3 is agencies, 1/3 is advertisers, and 1/3 is broadcasters. Now, if you're playing a game of football, right? You have a referee and you have the players. And the players aren't the referee, and the referee are not the players, that's it. And that's effectively what you end up doing in television audience measurement. Now, the very interesting thing about what you just said is that the base for television audience measurement, if you take into account all the things we've been talking about for the last hour or so, that is changing, the consumption habits are changing. And the nature of the measurement is changing. So having meters in homes will not be, maybe is at the moment, but will not be sufficient to measure those audiences. For example, in the US, we as an organization have been in front of developing the C+3 or C+7 approach to television audience measurement. We don't do television audience measurement in the United States. Nielsen, TAM's partner here in India, does it. And we were the first organisation, Group M, was the first organisation to recommend C+3, C+7, where you measure not just the live viewership, but you measure the audience that is there 3 days after the initial transmission, measure tablets, smartphones, or even C+7. That was something that took a great shift, and the reason is that the basis of measurement has changed. So on TAM, I mean, I should say one thing that I think is very important. For 15 years, the period of time you wanted to ask this question, TAM has operated extremely successfully. And LV and his colleagues have run in my view, and of course I'm biased, I'm subjective about, a model television audience measurement approach. And of course the history is that there was that cabinet decree that we should move our ownership from 50% to 10%. We went to court on that. The judge certainly upheld our appeal, and it's a judgment that is in the process of stay, as I would put it, and I think there's another hearing coming up on August the 26th. So, as far as TAM is concerned, I think the implication of your question unfairly tars TAM because the market decided that 10,000 meters 12,500 metres is right. Government then decides that 20,000 is right. Fine. If 20,000 metres is right, that's what we'll put in order to provide the appropriate television audio measurement service.
I'm just saying, why would you need the government to tell you you need 20,000? Why did you do it on your own and then see where the money comes from?
No.
Take a risk.
Well,
Take a
actually,
risk.
to be fair, the decision to increase the number of meters had already been taken. Right? Had already been taken. And LV and his colleagues have already taken that decision. Because what we're seeking to do is, in any country in which we operate, and just put India to one side for a minute because it's sub-judice effectively, but in any country we operate in, we're there to try and provide the most accurate service. Now, in any country, there may be political interests, there may be commercial interests that don't like.
What political interests?
Well, without going into detail.
Were there political interests in India?
I don't know. I've got no idea. But I'm just saying generally, it says put India to one side because it's sub-judice.
I mean, the previous government didn't like that. Felt some of the coverage was
I'm putting it to one side. You're trying to sort of force the way, put it to one side. But in some countries of the world, there might be political interests, there might be corporate interests, there might be media interests. And every media owner would like their media ratings to be as strong as possible. And when media ratings change, they get upset. Right? Understandable. And a natural human emotion. Right?
You talk about corporates or politicians?
No, I'm talking about media. I'm talking about media owners. Media owners. They like to have the best possible ratings. And if there's a change in the media ratings, they seek to understand the reasons why.
Yeah, so
But I'm putting, just so we're clear about, I'm putting India to
No,
one
no,
side.
Sir Martin, tell me, do you think there can be two metrics of measurement? Do you think there can be two companies? Do you think you can have TAM and BART? Or do you think there can be a third? Do you think there can be an AMAP? In fact, I'm surprised.
The market will decide. The market will
Do you think there is space for two currencies of measurement?
Well, if
in
you,
the Indian media?
you said the Indian media market. Let's extract from India again.
Yes.
Right? Precedent will tell you outside India, right? Precedent will tell you there's any room for one. That's what it will tell you.
So you are saying BART is a non-starter?
No, I didn't say that. I put India to one side.
So TAM and BART will work together?
I've got no idea. Ask BARC.
What about, you said BART and TAM?
Why you should have invited the head of BARC to sit alongside. You could have asked the head of BARC.
But do you think there should be more than one metric of measure? It's healthy, people compete, they coexist.
No. If the market will pay for two, fine. But I said to you, if you look outside India, I'm not talking about India, the precedence would be that the market doesn't pay for two, it pays for one.
We'll see.